This card, I haven't been able to find it yet, but when I do, I'll link to it. I haven't yet been able to find an image that completely shows you the card, what it does and everything. But there's this Illuminati card called Kill the Heretics, where it says, a heretic is someone that has most of your beliefs. Kill them. This is the card played against Amazing Atheist, and I feel bad for him. Amazing Atheist is just your typical middle-class white guy. That's it. Every belief he holds is just something that I would expect of a middle-class white suburban asshole. That's it. And even so, that's not enough for most people. Even so, he gets bashed, people troll his page, people treat him like shit. For what? He holds all your beliefs. He's pro-homosexual, he's pro-abortion, the way he conducts himself is pretty typical of Western behavior. There's nothing at all oddball about him, but yet, it's not enough for you. It's never enough for you, because you live in a death cult. The entire existence of Western society is built upon malice and hate and eating each other. And it's sick. It's beyond sick, because there's not even animals in this world that do that. Not even animals devour their own kind just because. It's just insane. It's psychotic. And, I feel bad for Amazing Atheist because he has your cattle mentality. He has that mindset of the Goyim and is self-destructive, and yet you still want to hang him on a fucking cross. Why? And I haven't brought this up before, but I probably should have, because it happens a lot. It happens, even when you agree with people, even when you see their point of view, it's not enough for them. Because whatever little deviation, or even if there's no deviation at all, people feel entitled to hating you just to hate you. And then they want to talk about other people. They want to talk about me. They want to talk about Barbarossa. They want to talk about Chapin's Infernal. They want to talk about Maoist Rebel. They want to talk about anybody. Anybody of any political persuasion. Anybody, anytime. It doesn't fucking matter. They feel entitled to it. And then people want to tell me where I can and cannot post. That's why I'm so pissed off about it. I'm not pissed off about it simply because, a dickhead moderator is being a dickhead. I deal with dickheads all the time. But the difference is their entitlement. They think that they can tell me how to conduct myself when they themselves cannot even act like a human being. They're a fucking beast, and they're trying to tell me what to do. That ain't happening. So, that's what burns my ass. And, Amazing Atheist gets a brunt of it for just spouting what most of us already believe. And, I just cannot understand it. I cannot understand how, someone as casual and as normal as Amazing Atheist can manage to get the sting of your malice and your, just grotesque nature, when he doesn't even meet the qualifications. He's not shaking the boat. He's not taking a stab at the status quo. He's a pretty average guy, and still you manage to find shit about him that just, festers anger inside of you, and you feel the need to spew it out at him and flag his videos and threaten to sue him and shit like that. And this is one of your guys. This is how you look. This is you. When you see Amazing Atheist, you are looking in a fucking mirror, because he is that much of a Gentile. He is that much of the common man. He is everything that is the middle-class suburban white guy. And still you hate him. What the fuck is wrong with you people? And, if you hate him that much, I can only imagine how much you hate people that do go against the woodwork, that do go against their cattle training, and become their own people, and think for themselves. And that's why we get massively censored, and that's why no one is ever really free. Because you're a death cult, and you worship the tyranny and the control and the hate and the destruction and the disease and everything. You worship all the pain and anguish. You worship the turmoil and having to prove yourself to a fucking society that just doesn't give a shit about you. You don't do anything for me. You don't do anything for Amazing Atheists or anybody. But yet you expect things. You expect to be treated with respect. You expect for people to conduct themselves in a certain manner. You expect people to talk a certain way. You're not to curse. You're not to do this. You're not to do that. You're not to be homophobic. No. You don't get to command me. You don't do dick for me. So, you keep your commands to yourself, or I will cut your tongue out. Because I am not putting up with it by a bunch of fucking jackals. By a bunch of fucking animals that are too stupid to know right from wrong. You're too stupid to not even eat your own. You are not worthy of my time, and how dare you fucking tell me to do anything. So, this video just goes out to show that I feel bad authentically for Amazing Atheist, having to put up with the same shit as me or Malice Rebel or anybody else, even though he's a reactionary. Even though he is everything that, America pretty much is, and that's not enough. It's never enough. And, there's nothing he can do about it. There's no way it won't matter if he, cleans himself up. It won't matter if, he tries to speak more softly and more articulately. You'll just find something else to hate on him about and attack him over and flag his videos over and other shit. And that's ridiculous. He shouldn't even have to go to those extents. But even if he did, it wouldn't stop you. You would just pretend it would stop you. You just want to give that gesture of, if you're just a good enough slave and you do your duties, then we'll pat you on the head and, leave you alone. Is that what you're fucking offering us? To just leave us alone if we suck your dick? That's not a fucking argument. That's not a bargain. That's enslavement. That's a threat. And I don't take kindly to threats. So you better back the fuck off. And if Amazing Atheist has any brains in him, he'll tell you to back the fuck off too. So, that's all I have to say for now.